the lightning strike caused the anti-fouling paint to separate off around each of the bronze through hulls. The one Marilon through hull I have did not appear to have any issues, which I guess makes sense since plastic does not conduct electricity. And the bronze seacocks to the through hulls still work fine and do not appear to be damaged. But I'm going to replace them all anyway, just as a point of prudence. So I just cut the outer mushroom up like a pizza pie, and then I'll just get a flathead screwdriver under there, under each of the slices, and just knock them off. Alright, let's see, I've completely destroyed the mushroom on the outside. Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's gonna come out. There we are. So the lightning strike also knocked out my refrigeration unit, and having to buy bags of ice to preserve my food. And I'm hoping it's just the startup controller that got fried, because that's the more delicate electronics, but I'm going to find that out presently. Oh, that's the anchor light. Ha ha. Okay, but the next package had the startup controller, which is right there. Sorry the camera's jiggling around so much. So my novel approach here is to transfer all these wires one by one to the new controller, remove it, and then transfer it back, and then transfer it back again. And hopefully there won't be any copying errors. And then, of course, the big if is if it's actually the controller that got burned out. Because if this doesn't work, then that means I got to replace the whole unit. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, drum roll please. This power cable, the positive is fused. So which way do we go here? Let's go. Oh. Well, that's a good sign. Let's okay. Oh, so it was okay. Okay. Let's turn this thing on. What's the oh, okay. Let's try to get it. Okay, so we'll set that at 9. It's at 14. Alright, well, let's see if it starts cooling it. Okay, whew, good news. Fridge is back. Some of you might have wondered what I'm doing storing a propane tank below deck. That is a steel exchange tank, and I'll do a video on it, but long story short, I got so sick of trying to find places which would refill my aluminum tanks. What I now do is carry an exchange tank, and I have a transfer hose. So when my aluminum tanks get low, I exchange it for a full tank and then empty that tank into my aluminum tanks. So I filled the burn hole on the top sides there with epoxy. And so now I'm just touching up the paint. So I'm going to replace all the old bronze seacocks and through hulls with Marilon ones. And so far I've had good luck with Marilon. However, I have to fill the previous 4 bolt holes, which the bronze through hulls required. Marilon does not require any bolts. It just threads on, and the mushroom holds the through hull in place. And now I'm going to put some roving and epoxy on the outside and on the inside of the fiberglass hole there, just to make sure that no water starts wicking into the fiberglass in case the sealant fails around the through hull. Alright. Hopefully this snake won't break, because then it'll get really difficult. So the lightning strike burned out all of my navigation lights, and also fried a lot of the wiring, so I got to replace that too. We just got to pull it the rest of the way up through the deck. So now I got to epoxy this backing block in. And this is just West epoxy thickened with the high density bonding filler. I think that goes forward if I recall. It's just about perfect right there. So you just put a little mark there. So that's forward facing the flow. This is just so I get the mushroom oriented correctly, so that when I tighten it down, the seacock on the inside is oriented the way I want it, with the valves swinging the correct way. Alright, so I put the sealant in, and the strategy here is just to let that, just gonna let that sit there for half hour or so, and just so the sealant has a chance to sort of spread and fill in the gaps, and I'll let that happen before I try to thread it from the inside and really crank it down. Let's check down below, make sure that's not turning. Getting there now. Now the last task is just to touch up the anti-fouling paint, and she should be ready to go back in the water. Now hopefully that's got it. Just finished touching up the anti-foul around the new through hulls. And that should all turn the same color once she goes back in the water. And the AF33 I put on there is supposedly a multi-season ablative, so you can take the boat out and put it back in, the paint will still work. And that's the blister repair. And there's another blister repair under the keel I had to do. That was probably the hardest project, because there was water that got trapped into the ballast cavity. So I had to drain that and then fiberglass it. So hopefully she's good and watertight now.
Yeah, you might need to push off.
Yeah, I can just get her going here.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Do you want to do stern first or bow first?
Bow first.
Okay.
Because the kedge is going to hold the bow.
Oh, you got the kedge?
Yeah. The kedge is running. It's 200 feet of road.
Okay.
So I roped my next door neighbor into giving me a hand to get off the dock, and I set out my 35-pound fisherman kedge anchor to pull myself off. And so Kim's just going to help release my lines, which makes things a lot easier when you have somebody on the dock to release your lines.
Just pull the...
Yeah, just release my stern, and I'm going to just...
I'll just hold you on the stern until you... get clear. Yeah, yeah, we've got that on ours as well. Just about clear. Good luck, sir.
So she's watertight with the new through hulls. Nav lights are working. Refrigeration's working. Solar charger replaced and working. And the radio and AIS appear to have been unharmed. So I think I'm back to par. In between these two boats here. So a guy just picked up from there this morning. Let her come up head to wind. Then pull the fisherman back in and stow it. I could have sailed right out of there, but with that big power boat, that was a little close. And so put in a little extra effort and run out the cage. That's always the safest way, is just to pull yourself off the dock and get yourself clear before you set sail. Just less chance of losing control of anything. So anyway, we're back, we're floating. We're at anchor, we got a nice breeze, which is nice because it's going to be really hot today. Consider supporting this channel by becoming a patron. As a patron, you will be able to view my videos free of ads. You will also be able to leave comments, ask questions, and message me directly. You can become a patron for as little as $5 a month.